All right, welcome traders to this video here on the Birdie Trader channel. I am a golf professional for 15 years turned day trader, and I have been day trading in the stock market now for 10 years. And I'm going to be going over a 513 cross strategy that I utilize on the daily. And this is one that I've helped some people in Discord with, and I've talked through with them on that. Um, but I've have a few more people that would like to kind of have a video on how I use it. So I'm making that here today. So the trading vehicle we're going to be using today is the ES, and the ES is in the futures market, and that is what I trade basically every single day. Okay, and the for the 513 strategy that I use, it works best on the 513. Now, my 513 is a cross strategy, is not necessarily a trend strategy. I know a lot of traders like to use a 5-8-13 to kind of give them a more solid trend based indication. But for me, mine's more of a cross, and we're going to kind of dive into that in this video. So I have marked some levels on my chart here in yellow, as you can kind of see, that are just kind of levels of interest from pre-market and then also previous session days too as well, where price reacted off of it. Okay, so that's why those yellow or those orange lines are marked. And then the white down here at 64.8350 is the low of pre-market, and up here the white line is the 67.4875, which is the high of pre-market. Okay, and this is kind of what I do every day. I mark the high and low of pre-market, and then I also have my levels of interest. And my levels of interest could be for longs, shorts, it doesn't really matter. I want price to show me off of those levels what a potential move could be. Okay, so I don't use these levels as a bias for only one direction because price can do anything off of a certain level. So at 7:05, we got a large pump in the market. There was a news. Trump said that he was pausing strikes on Iran infrastructure for 5 days, um, and we pushed off of that, and we kind of come back a little bit in pre-market, ran back up a little bit, and then into the open, we kind of had another pullback. Now, on the order book, um, whether you use the DOM or Bookmap or whatever it is, this trading action basically from here to about 10:45 was extremely thin. And for me, that's just not a market that I want to trade because when orders are so thin, they can just whip you back and forth, and you will just get cut up with your stop losses unless you're giving them a lot of room. So I stayed patient and just waited this out, and we got a little thicker starting at about right here at 10:45. So with the 513, what we want to see is this is my 5 EMA here in the blue and my 13 EMA in the yellow. So for a bullish or upward move, we want to see the 5 cross over the 13 and then also get a bullish close over the 5 and 13. So I'm not going to go over the plays that would have worked prior to 10:45 because we had a good one here cross to the downside for a good play. That was a good like 30 points there, and then we had another good one right here, which got us um, almost 12 points right away on the close and cross. But since I didn't trade those, I'm not going to go over them, and but you can go back and revisit on previous days and future days how this 513 works, and you can kind of see why I use it. So um, even though I'm not interested in trading and taking a trade in this until I saw it get a little thicker, like I said, about 1045, I'm observing what price is doing. And for me, I had diagnosed a potential area where buyers were getting a little weak. Okay. So we couldn't close here to start in pre-market a candle over the top of this box. So that kind of tells me that buyers are weaker over this potential level. And shorts are a little stronger than the buyers. Okay? Because we were here, we dropped down. We came up here, we tested above, we finally got a couple candle closes over this box, but then they came back down once again. Okay? So from here, we still didn't get across, so I'm not interested in the short. So we went back up a little bit. And then from here, you can kind of see we got some more bearish structure that started. Okay. So right in here, I am watching this bearish price structure start and where the 5 is finally converging on the 13. So um, we finally got across with the 513. And that was the first one since we had a bearish one here at 925 and a bullish one here at about 945. And if you look at the level that we're also kind of breaking down off of. Okay, so when I see a 513, I also kind of want to see an area where if I'm taking a short, buyers look like there's a potential weakness in addition to the 513. So we got it. So we got the close under, we got the 513 cross. I take a short right here at the bottom of the zone. Now with the 513, we want to see this play work in our favor. We do not want to see it hang out in this zone for an extended amount of time. We do not. If I get into this move and it just does this for 2, 3, 5 minute candles, I will close it. It doesn't matter if I'm up or I'm down, I will close it. So if we get that, you want to get out because you want to see this thing move in your direction right away. Now the other way this would work is if I take a short here and we get a quick wick up, maybe in the first minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes of this 5 minute candle, and we get a retest of this. Okay, so I'm already short here. We're getting a retest here. Now I could take a second share short off of this level on that retest to add to my position and get a better average entry for this potential move. But we did not get that here. We basically just sold off immediately. And this is what happens a lot with a 513 cross, especially when it's breaking down a kind of a zone where buyers are weak. So you go short, you look for that quick move, and I had identified this as a first level down, this as a second level down, and then this as my ultimate level down. So we're just going to kind of mark each of those in green to signify um, those potential take profit zones. Now, since I only got one share, I'm not really going to have this trade going against me, and I'm going to look to take it on that first take profit. So I was in at 84. I like to see a 5 to 8 handle move in my 513 cross strategy, and we basically got it. So about 84, 85, we are short, and take profit it was right here at about that 77 and a quarter range. So that was right within that 5 to 8 handle move, and we're in and we're out. Now, what we kind of want to hope to maybe see is if we get another wick up and test that 13 and fail once again to maybe re-enter here. but we never got it. We just kind of went straight down. And as you can see, this move got aggressive. And you can see how the 5 and 13 zone expands away from each other. So that tells you strong trend. And from here, okay, we got kind of we hit through all my three targets, and for me, I'm usually not going to look to re-enter unless it just looks absolutely perfect. And we didn't get a good retest of that 13 to maybe take a re-enter here. So it just kind of dumped down, and by then I'm done with the trade. I'm not going to look to reshort. I'm done with this potential play, especially since I had marked this level in pre-market as a level of interest, and we came down and tapped into it. If I just kind of zoom out here, you can kind of look at why I had these two lines on my chart um, prior to the trading day. So this is something that I kind of do every day, no matter what my particular strategy I'm using, um, because I'm a level to level trader for the most part. And this is just how I operate on the daily. Okay, so once we hit this level, in my opinion, this thing could just bounce right back up. It could even go all the way back up here and retest this little box resistance zone we had. So I'm really not interested in a short once we tap that, unless we get really weak under this line and um, do something like this. Okay, that would be kind of the only way I would really be interested is if we dump below, retest, and then slam it. Get ready to slam that line down again. But we never got it, so that play wasn't there for me. So I look for a potential 513 cross again. Now, as I'm watching this, okay, where were buyers getting strong again? Okay. And in my opinion, from where they got strong in pre-market and then right after the opening bell was somewhere about here. Okay. So I kind of want to see a 513 cross somewhere in this zone to see if buyers are going to retake this level and push it up again. Okay. Because they've done it before. They did it again. Now, can they recover with a 513 cross? And we did. So we got an action candle close above the 513 in the zone of interest that buyers have taken over twice already in this session. So again, you take the long off of this next candle after the close over the 513 bearish bullish cross, and you look for 5 to 8 handle moves. Okay, so if I am long right here at about, we'll just say 66, 48, 25, I want 6 handles. So where is 6 handles? Right about 54.50. So we'll move that down to about that 54.50 level, and look how that kind of matches up with this wick. So for me, that's kind of good enough. 6 to 8 handle moves very quickly on one share. I'm in, I'm out. About $300 trade right there. It even went a little higher, which is fine. It's gravy. Never get mad about taking profits. Money is money in the bank. Okay, so that was a strategy that worked once again. But we came back down, we retested the 13, and we got another move. So technically, you could have went long because you're in this zone where buyers have already taken it up before. Okay, we already said that twice. Okay, and we're still got a 513 bullish trend up on the market. So you could have taken this trade off of the 13 and maybe put a stop loss. I probably wouldn't put a stop loss under here because I don't want to risk that much of the money I made here and there. But maybe you could put it, just below this box, right about here, and look for this trade to play out once again. Okay, and it did. So you got your push off the 513, and then we got up here and we traded. And at this point, I'm done kind of looking for longs unless we kind of get back up above here and do something like I mentioned earlier on this potential downside short. I want to see it do something like this and then go higher for a long. But I'm not interested really in a short unless we fail here, retest, and then fail again. Okay, so um, I've got to have it show me a little bit better, and I would only really be looking at this as a potential short. Okay, so we'll kind of delete those out of the way. But that's kind of how I use the 513 cross, and it's always the first quick initial move um, after you get a closed candle over the 513. You want to see it move quickly right in your favor right away, or get a quick wick down on that first candle, test a little bit of a pullback zone, and then push rather quickly. Now, as I stated earlier, if you get into this and this trade just kind of wants to do this sideways, I'm out. Okay, that 513 cross strategy is not something that I'm going to use to work. I'm going to have to wait and make sure that trend is staying strong for me to stay or get it back into this particular trade. I'm not going to sit around and wait for this one to kind of play out. I really want to see this play get some gusto early each and every time, even up or down. And that is my 513 cross strategy on the 5-minute chart. Um, if you have any questions, you can always put comments in the chat and I will do my best to respond. Please like and subscribe. Have a good rest of your day.